Well, hello everybody. Welcome to your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. Amazing to see 5 people in the room on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So who's here with me? Let me know who's here. I don't have any particular news today. Just, like I said last night, I'll come out and having trouble doing my videos. I've got one video ready to go, and the other one I haven't got ready, and I'm just having trouble finishing it. And it's been a weird since they announced stopping the games. I have been having trouble making videos. It's kind of weird. Um, anyway, hey Aaron and David, welcome in, guys. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Stephen Cog, hey Stephen, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going, buddy? Munib is in the room too. All right, guys. Wow, there are 9 people. Are we all having trouble with finding things to do? That's the problem today, right? What do we do? I'm kind of busy. I'm going to be moving my studio over into a different room. And so I started working on that today. But I had a lot of things to do. It's like writer's block. I have a couple videos I want to get out there, and I just can't get them done. But I have a feeling I will get them out tonight, or at least film them and have them out tomorrow. So sorry about that. My apologies for not having any videos out at a time when you guys are probably, like me, not a lot to do other than this. So, yeah. Ryan, hey Ryan, you're back from Nashville. I believe Ryan is from Nashville. That's one of the things, Ryan, it's funny because I have a poem that I'm working on. And I did a little bit more of it today. I'll show it to you just to show you that I'm working. I've got to what, page and a half done now? Yesterday I only had like 4 verses done. So I've added another 4.5. But I got stuck there. You ever have that where you're writing something? So yeah, as soon as this is done, I'm gonna film both of them and put them out. So yes, I'm glad you like the poetry. I realized it's not the reason I start doing poetry is because I like to write poetry. Without realizing nobody, and I don't know why I would have thought anybody else was doing this, but nobody is writing hockey poetry, which makes sense. I mean, right? So it's kind of a nice niche for me. So definitely continuing that. And yeah, but I'm working on one, and as soon as it's done, that's the way it is. It's just weird, it's hard to adjust to this. The restrictions on going out are getting a little stronger. They're not restricting us, so that's the wrong word, but they're highly suggesting that we're gonna have a lot of time in the next couple of weeks at the very least, and I think 30 days. So yeah, hopefully I'll work on a lot of good stuff. No, I will, and just hopefully I'll be able to do them and get them out there the way I want to do them. But when I get the other when I move over to the other room for the studio, it'll afford me a little bit more flexibility. Actually, a lot more flexibility. So I'm just planning it out now, and then going to move everything. So you'll notice because the room will look different. You'll definitely see it right away. Touch your mouse, you wash your hands, repeat. And I like the name 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I've seen you before. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks for coming in the door. Welcome in, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, listen, while you're at home, look, I'm touching my eye. While you're at home, I live alone, so there's nobody here but me. So if I'm at home, I can do those things. You can touch it. As long as when you're out, you wash your hands before you go out. And you try not to touch things, try not to touch your face. And when you come home, you make sure you wash your hands. And when you're able to out there, you wash your hands. Or if you're lucky enough to have a hand sanitizer, you keep some with you. But I mean, that's what you got to do. It's better to do it and then come out of it and you didn't catch anything. Or if you did, it's very mild, than to have it, and get, whatever, the worst that could happen, right? Zachary, I agree with you. Thanks for coming in, by the way. It does suck. It really, really does suck, but it's nothing personal on anybody. This isn't being done against anybody. The whole world is going through this. As a matter of fact, a lot of countries are going through a little worse than we are. And I'm not talking about the cases, the number of people. That obviously, most countries are going through it way worse than we are. Just going through this isolation and being at home. Thank God, like when I grew up, we didn't have internet. So if this happened, it would have been really boring. Because even the TV shows and all that, they're taking hiatuses and stopping filming. So it's just everywhere. And thank God for internet, where we can do this and talk to each other. And yeah. And one day, what we're doing now, because it's kind of one way, right? I'm the only one talking, reading your stuff. But one day it'll be like, we'll actually be able to talk to each other. I imagine that's going to happen. Maybe not in my lifetime, but it will happen. David is playing NHL 20. Goaltender for the Canadians, 17 wins and shutouts. All right, buddy. Phil Galley. Hey, buddy. Haven't seen you there in a while. Phil Galley, you've been with me for a long time. I know that. So will there be games with empty stands? I don't think they're at that point yet. And I'm going to tell you what I think as far as the rest of the season. I don't think they're going to finish the rest of the season. I guess I'll plug the hockey guy. He did a video today about, I guess, his idea of how they'll get to the playoffs, how they'll get the final teams in there. And it makes kind of sense. They might do something like that. But I don't think we're going to get back to any kind of possibility to play games before it's too late to finish the season and get the playoffs in. So, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. They might have like for all the bubble teams that are like the wild card teams, and then the teams that are really close with them. Some of them are outside the wild card, but they're tied with the wild card teams. So have like a mini tournament with them, and not really a tournament, but they play each other. So kind of another series, I guess, qualifying series for them, and then they qualify to get into the playoffs. And yeah, so it might be done something like that. But I think we'll just see playoffs. I don't think we're going to see an end to this season. That's my opinion. And as far as for whether there will be people in the stands, I think that's anybody's guess at this point. I don't think we can really make a guess. I think it's a good possibility. Like if this goes on for a while, and the players now, remember, the players apparently are kind of in, I think they're in self-quarantine. So not even just self-isolation. I think the teams have asked them to self-quarantine so that they remain healthy. And that if after a certain period of time, if the players are still all healthy and all the workers and all that still remain healthy, they might go back to playing, at least it'll be on TV. Money will still start rolling in, advertising and all that. And I guess you might see that. But I'll tell you, if anybody watches the talk show hosts, the talk shows at night, like the Tonight Show and the Late Show and all that stuff. And even Bill Maher, I love Bill Maher. So they did their I think Thursday, Friday shows without an audience, and it's really different. And I don't know. So I'm assuming that watching games without a crowd around might be a little different. Although we've seen games like the college games where there's not much crowds and stuff. I've seen them, but not with the same kind of technology to film them. So I don't know what it would look like or what it would feel like. It would be definitely freaking weird. That's what I got to say. David Robinson, greetings, buddy. You're in Nanaimo. All right. Would never know that there is a pandemic, except there is no toilet paper in town. Yeah, don't be worried too much about that, though. I saw a statement from Canada's leading toilet paper maker, and I don't know the name of the company, but they assured Canada that they are working very hard around the clock producing toilet paper, and Canada will not run out of toilet paper. We'll see. I'm okay. I live alone. I'm a guy. I forgot, I live alone. I don't have a girlfriend for a little while. I've been separate. Yeah, we're just separated, but from my wife for a long time, and I forgot how much toilet paper girls use, and it's not a knock on girls, so the girls out there don't get upset. But they do use more than boys or guys, so they could. But if you're a guy, how much do we use? John, Hot Take Hockey's in the room. How's it going, John? I'm a legend. I wish that we're so sort of not really. I'm just yeah. but having fun. Gonna do this every day a little bit, you know. Break the monotony. That's why different times. Last night I was on at 9, today 5, tomorrow probably around 7. I'm gonna split it up, and that way everybody gets a chance to, you know, whatever, and whenever I'm feeling the moment. But I got to start filming videos. John, I'm having a freaking writer's block thing where it's more like a video filming block. And I've got 2 videos. Well, second one's almost ready to go. And I'm just having trouble. Do you ever have that trouble where you just, you can't get the job done? You got everything ready, but you can't get it done. And the poem, I'm having trouble, almost done, but a little bit of block there. They should come back even if it means no fans. Well, I'm not opposed to that as long as like you just said, as long as it's safe, you know. That won't happen for a couple of weeks. Then they'll need a week to get back into playing shape because they're not skating, they're not doing anything. But as long as they remain healthy, every player, everybody that works the teams and all that, if that's managed, then I don't see why they can't come back to play without fans in the stands. I don't think it'll be a big thing, you know. That's my opinion, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, what do you figure is going to happen? I haven't seen any videos of yours. If you have put them out, that you give that opinion. So I don't really know how you think about it, but yeah, I kind of think they're going to wait at least till the players are 14 days without any sicknesses. Rodney, we all agree. I think we all agree to that, buddy. Thanks for coming in. I don't know why, Zachary, they held your for your comment there. Matt Tkachuk sucks. I don't like Matt Tkachuk either. I don't like Brady Tkachuk either. They're talented hockey players. So everybody out there, don't tell me, oh, they're good. I know they're good hockey players. I don't take that away from them. I just don't like the way they play. Yeah, John, it happens sometimes, eh? You know, I've got a bit of, not a bit, I think I got ADD. I don't think I have the H part anymore. I did when I was a kid. And, you know, it really, really affects me on some days where I cannot focus enough to actually accomplish much. I do a lot of things and don't accomplish anything. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm having one of those days where I just can't focus enough. That's kind of why I think I started the live stream early. I was thinking of doing this at 7, and then I said, oh, I'm not going to put the notice out until I can decide what I want to do. And at 4 o'clock, I just said, you know, at 5 o'clock, I'm ready to go. I can talk. I can't film and do a script, but I can freaking talk. So that's why we're here. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Ah, that wasn't for me. Okay, so I guess I've got to talk. I don't think I scrolled anywhere. Hey guys, I need some back and forth. I'm not that's probably why I'm having the problem with the video. Sometimes it's hard to just talk to a camera, even though I always think of it as I'm just talking to a person out there in front of me. I never think of how many people might watch a video. That doesn't enter my mind till I go over maybe and see how many views I got, but it doesn't enter my mind while I'm filming. So when I'm having trouble to film, this kind of like this, if you guys don't give me any back and forth, I'm kind of I'm devoid sometimes of ideas of what to talk, especially if there's nothing going on. The only thing I know that happened was the Canadians were getting, especially on Twitter, they're really getting beat up about not having announced any kind of a plan to pay their part-time employees, you know, the ones that work when the games are on and stuff like that. And they announced it today that they have a plan. I didn't really find out exactly. I think they're getting something like 75% of what they would earn if they were working. And there's a bunch of teams that haven't announced anything. So that's the only thing that's going on that I know of that it concerns Montreal anyway. And there's not much. I'm kind of hoping we'll hear something about Cole Caulfield. Why do I keep doing that? It seems everybody's calling him Caulfield, and maybe Shea Weber was wrong. So I'm going back to Caulfield, that he might sign with Turcotte. I want to say Alfie Turcotte, who I think is his father, but with Turcotte, Alex Turcotte, signed a contract with LA. And Keandre Miller signed the contract with the Rangers, which kind of strips that Badgers team of a lot of talent. I doubt Caulfield's going to go back there. I think it behooves him, and there's a fancy word for all you young guys. I think it behooves him to sign and play in Laval next year. I think that will probably speed up his development. I don't think on a really bad Badgers team in college, I don't think it's going to do him any good anymore. So that's my opinion there. Do I think no playoffs this year? I don't think that that's a question anybody can really answer, David. We're not at a point, because what's going on right now, you see the number of cases in the States and the number of cases in Canada, which I think was just announced we're up to 339 cases. In the States, last I saw was around 1,500. I don't know how much it is now. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that's because we're behind the groove. What's the term? Behind the groove? We're behind everybody in Europe as far as how long we've had it here, right? We've had it here less time than them. The way it's been handled over there in our neighbors' country, that's the U.S., I think it's going to be bad there. I think you're seeing a shit show of management of what's going on, and I'm worried about how bad it's going to be down there. Here, we're better at it, it seems, but we're not a ton better at it yet. But I think we're going to act a lot faster and do a lot more things. I don't know. I'm hoping. That's why it's really important, guys. It's like I can't stress it enough for you young guys, especially. And I know I got a lot of young people watching. I don't know how many of the 11 that are here are young, but you tend to blow it off because you won't get sick and you won't get it bad if you get it and all that. But think about it in a different way. Yeah, it's going to be easier if you're under 40. It seems to be, if you get it, it's not too bad, and it's like a bad flu, and you can stay home and you're whatever. The thing is, though, when you get it, and you might not have, it might be very mild and it's whatever, but anybody around you, you could give it to them. That means your family. If you're married, you have a wife or a husband, you have kids, you have older parents. You can give it to them. So, being like there's still people going to these clubs and they're going out and they're going to restaurants, and I'm sorry, I don't understand it. If you don't need to go out, and I think they announced today they're asking everybody to not go out of your house unless it's absolutely necessary. Yes, shopping's important. That's right. If you have to go to work, yes. If you have doctor's appointments, got it. If they can't be canceled and they're necessary, those kind of things. But to go to a restaurant, to go out to a bar to drink, it's not necessary. And that's where, when you do unnecessary things, when there's things like this going on, and you take chances, it's those kind of things you do that are going to cost you. It's bad enough that you have to go buy food. You might run into somebody, you take a chance that way. But when you take a chance for something you don't need to do, you don't need to go to a bar, you don't need to go to a restaurant, you can eat at home. And if you want a restaurant, you can order. There's ways around having to go out. So when you do go out, that's when for me, I think that's when karma hits you and says, you dumb shit, you wanted to go out when you shouldn't. This is when you're going to get it, So I can't stress enough how important it is to kind of listen to what's going on, do as much as you can, and that's what I'm doing. I'm being responsible. I am staying in. The only time I'm going out right now is to walk my dog. I went shopping yesterday because I needed to, and that would allow me to stay in for the next, hopefully, 2 weeks without having to go out much. I will have to go do laundry, so I'm going to have to go out to do that. But those are the only kind of things I'm going out for. Okay, so now I talked for a good while there. Get back to you guys. Rodney is saying Suzuki and Lafreniere would be a good combination. Wouldn't it, though? And listen, I'd love to get the first round pick. I just don't think the first pick. I mean, I don't think they're going to get the first overall pick. I think it's a lot to expect and to hope for. And I think, anyways, look, if you get the first pick, it's kind of a no-brainer. You take Lafreniere, right? I think it's kind of a no-brainer, especially now that everything's ended. There's nobody playing hockey. More than likely, he's getting drafted on exactly where we are right now. You take Lafreniere. If they don't get the first pick, that's where, so I like Jamie Drysdale for a number of reasons. He seems like he's a hell of a hockey player, like a can't miss guy. Definite elite number one potential at a position that's super important and that will be necessary to be filled when he should be ready to go and make it to the NHL. And by that I mean Shea Weber will be at an age where you can't expect him to be number one defenseman. And you're going to need a kid to come in, have a couple of years of mentoring under Shea Weber, and maybe can take the mantle after a couple of years experience. And I think you got a guy like that in Drysdale. If you're number one, you take him. If Drysdale's taken, well, we're going to take a look at it when we know what's kind of happening, when they kind of announce, okay, these are the teams that are not in the playoffs. Then we can start making, mock drafts and stuff like that. I don't want to do that now. It's too much speculation. Making a mock draft is speculation enough. And I'll tell you, yes, those videos do well. I can't argue with it when you do speculation and rumor and all that. But when I decided I was going to do what I'm doing right now, for me, my role model is the hockey guy. He's the guy that I started watching. He's the guy that gave me the idea that, wow, maybe I can do what he's doing. And one thing he always is about is integrity. You don't see him make wild speculations. You don't see him do anything. You don't see him spread rumors that aren't kind of confirmed. You don't see him do a lot of any kind of speculation at all. And stuff like that. And that's integrity. And I kind of want to do that with my channel. So you don't see me do a lot of rumor stuff unless I see it reported by really good people that I trust. So if anybody's wondering, and I don't know why I got on this, I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, that's why you don't see me do a lot of that stuff and maybe that's why my channel grows a little slower. But, I figure in the long run, if I keep my integrity here, it's going to do me better in the long run that people who do decide to hit subscribe are going to trust me, are going to, when I'm not able to film videos for a day or two, they're not going to abandon me, because I built this integrity and trust. And that's the only really way I want to do it. So sometimes when you don't see videos from me, it's because I don't want to put out videos that are half-assed, If I'm not ready to do a video, I'm not ready to shoot it, and I don't really want to do it. The only time I kind of do it is when the reviews and the previews, I kind of have to because they're for the gains, so I have to. But all the other videos that aren't reviews or previews, sometimes I can't film it for a couple of days. Yeah, I'm not ready. I'm one of those, I guess. I have to be ready to shoot something in particular, and I don't know if John's still here. But if he is, I wonder if it's the same thing for him. But yeah, I'm kind of like that. I know I'm talking a lot, geez, something happened. There we were. Okay, I was here. Let me get back to you guys. Sorry, buddies. Wolverine, sorry I missed you. I was babbling and it scrolled. Multi-Yapples. Okay, I like that. Multi-Yapples. I have not seen you out there before. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Anybody who's new, I would also appreciate something if you don't mind. Two things, actually. Thumbs up. Thumbs up always help the algorithm. So we can I'd like to get to 15 as a minimum. So if anybody is here, you like what you're seeing anyways, if you can give a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. And any new people that are here, I would appreciate a subscribe. You'll get notified when I do come on, and love to see you back, especially if you're from, well, it doesn't matter where you're from, but, if you're fans from other bases, because I know Ryan T is here. He's from Nashville. I love that. I think we can have good conversations about hockey with fans from other fan bases, because in this room, we are civil to each other. So that's a rule. When you come in here, got to be civil to each other. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Okay, Rodney's saying, think about it differently. Okay, how many people have contracted the coronavirus that had the flu shot every year? But the flu shot is for the flu. The coronavirus is not the same thing. It is why they call it a novel coronavirus. The novel means it is a new strain of coronavirus. Just the common cold is a coronavirus. So I don't know, a lot of people don't know that. I did not know that till a few days ago, where I learned that because I learned it from somebody, a doctor online or watching something. The common cold is a coronavirus. The flu is probably, I don't know if the influenza is a coronavirus. It might not be. SARS, MERS, those were coronaviruses. This is called COVID-19 because it's a coronavirus. It's also called till they named it, I think. Some people still say it, novel coronavirus, because it's a different strain from the others. So having the flu shot is not going to help you. It's not, because that thing was developed for specific strains of influenza, not for this. So, like, that's a fallacy, and I've heard this, and I feel confident enough to say it here in public because I've heard this from experts that is the case. An influenza vaccination will not help you with the coronavirus. So don't be fooled by that. David, you're 100% right. You can drink at home too. Listen, it's just an inconvenience. It's what it is. It's for hopefully a short period of time. If we kind of take it seriously and we fight this and everything, hopefully it will be only for a short period of time. If not, it could last longer as it gets out of control and just rolls through the country. So, I don't want to see that happen. And I'm in a high risk group. So just from that, I got to drink. Just from being in a high risk group, for me to go out and go to a bar, to a restaurant is dumb. It's just dumb. I can understand the point of view of a young person who feels, you don't think about, you're invincible. You're not going to get hurt from anything. And literally if you do get it, it's not very strong. So I can understand you wanting to go out and even going out. I get it. But for me to do it where I'm in a high risk group, that's just, it's like asking, I play Russian roulette, get a gun and see if and that's what it's like. So in my view. And also, I'm talking only about stuff that I've heard from responsible people, because they kind of warn you on YouTube's warning people, like, not to be sensational. Don't give people false information. You got to be responsible about that too. So I'm not, for me, anything I talk about it. And if you notice, I'm not really mentioning the name too much because, I would like the video to be monetized. I don't get that many views, and I would like it. But the one that I put it in the title, it was monetized for the beginning. And then I think the next day, so it was at night, so the next morning was already demonetized sometime overnight, because it was in the title, because I've talked about it in all my live streams, and everything that I've talked about that the live stream didn't say that in the name, in the title, they're still monetized. So it's weird. That's how it goes. Wow, I'm surprised. 18 people. All right. So I'll just remind everybody, to drop that quickly. But if you're in here and you're liking what you see and you haven't given a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Love to see that get to 15. And anybody who is new, and new to the channel, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate that. Going to be doing these live streams probably every day. And if you would give us a subscribe, I would love that as well. It all helps for the channel to grow. Always helps. But the thumbs up really does. It helps the algorithm, which at this point, like, if you're giving thumbs up, it'll see, oh, look, their thumbs up are coming in. We'll start showing it to more people to come into the live stream. And then that's kind of how it works. And then once we get, like, for me, because the channel kind of needs to be supported at some point. And I'm not begging for money here. But when you do get 35, 40, 50 people in the room, that's when people start to use the super chats, and that helps out the channel. So I'm hoping to build and get up into those ranges. So, and hopefully I'm entertaining you guys. I don't know how. I'm just sitting here talking about and babbling on because everybody knows about my back. It's one of those days with my back. So yeah, my meds are kicking in, and when my meds kick in, I get kind of talkative. So that's why I figured, my meds are kicking in. Maybe I should live stream now. Wolverine's asking, is it realistic that Kovalchuk resigns in Montreal? I think it is. Bergevin talked about it in the interview, so I think it is. I forgot that I had scrolled up. I realized there's a lot of stuff down. I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom. If I've missed anybody's comment, I apologize. Just re-comment. I'll catch up from what I'm behind. Or if you want to help support the channel and you want to get your comment read for sure, just hit that $sign there on the bottom. That's a super chat or a super sticker. And then I'll definitely, because it highlights it in colors and can't miss it. And I would definitely not miss it and definitely read it. So enough begging, and let's get back. David Wee, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. I think this is a synthetic created in the Wuhan bioweapons lab. I think if that were the case, though, it would be a lot worse than it is. And I don't mean that it's not going to get worse. I think it would be a lot worse. But I come from the day of all those horror movies and the Stephen King book, The Stand, where it was like that. But no, I really don't think so. It started in the wet markets in China. Wet markets are where people get their food, and they get animals and meat and stuff there, and they keep their animals in cages and piled up on top of each other. And this is what, from videos that I've seen from experts, this is what I've gleaned. When that happens, and say you have chickens on the bottom, and you've got, I don't remember the name of the animal on top. There's a certain animal. And so one, it's shitting into the other cage. The chickens end up eating the shit, blah, 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 blah. It mixes in between species. You get these bugs. And sometimes you're eating maybe the meat from that animal. Or you're touching the poop or whatever it is. And you get the virus, and that's what happens. And that's what happened here. Is it started in a wet market there. I don't know if they're 100% sure of that, but they're damn close to it. So no, it's not a bio. I know we don't trust everything coming out of China. I get that. I really do get that, but I don't think so. And listen, I've seen enough movies. I've seen things that can happen. Yeah, it wouldn't be like if that is how it was, then that all of a sudden I would be, oh my God, I can't believe. No, I mean, it wouldn't shock the hell out of me, but that's too conspiracy theory-ish. Is that the word? I stopped believing in conspiracy theories or getting too involved in it with the 9/11. I was really into the 9/11 conspiracy, and so I don't do conspiracy theories too much anymore. And that's just too conspiracy theory or theory-ish. There, I got it right, I think, that time. The Spanish flu is still dormant in the permafrost and can be regenerated. That's true too. Although I think we would have at this point, there's vaccines for that. We should be okay. But you're right. And this one, even if we get through this one could come back again after it goes dormant for a while, or it could never come back at all. You don't know. Okay, Reddin, wouldn't that be awesome? The Habs. Okay, I'm not sure because I think you got a little bit of typos there. So you got to redo that, buddy, Reddin. Sorry. Oh, you did. I see it down there. I'll get to it in a sec. Matthew 00420. Love that name, buddy. Love that. That is the one I tried, but thanks, David. Okay, that wasn't even for me, but I love seeing your name there. Thanks for coming in. And Reddin, welcome back in, Reddin. Sorry. If I missed you that you came in, I didn't see your name. I really apologize. Everybody, welcome in. I thank you. We've kind of dropped, but I think a lot of people on the air, I think people go back and forth from place to place. It came from bats. It seems, Wolverine, you're right. It seems that it came from bats and something else, but in these wet markets it's all so it's not good. It's from the wet markets. It's not. I would say it's definitely not from a bioweapons firm or anything like that. Wouldn't that be awesome? The Habs win the draft pick and then offer sheet Matthew Barzal and get him. So you're saying we could get Lafreniere in the first pick and then offer sheet Barzal. Even if you offer sheet Barzal, doesn't mean you're going to get him. That's number one. So good thing you made that point. I don't really like the offer sheet. I don't know where the rumor started from. If you're reading a rumor, always check the source. So if it's a source from just somebody that you don't have, whatever, find out where they got it from. And then if they got it from whatever thing it is, just check to make sure that's like a real, like a legitimate source. If it's not from a legitimate source, and I haven't been able to pin that one down to a legitimate source, the offer sheeting Matthew Barzal. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember everything, obviously, but I haven't been able to pin that one down. All flus are avian born. It's inherent in chicken. I don't know. We had the avian flu, yes. Didn't turn out to be as bad as they thought. I don't know if listen, it was just an example about how things get, they develop. I don't know if this is how it happened here exactly with chickens. I don't know. It might have, but apparently it's from bats. That's kind of where they're thinking it's from. So, because don't forget, in China they eat a lot of bats, and I saw they have big bats there. Oh my God. So yeah, they eat bats, and I don't know if we should be eating bats, but they have so many people there. They're desperate for food. It's one of the problems that are coming up. We have so many people in this world on this planet, and the planet really can't sustain that many people feeding them, and other things, but feeding them it's getting to be more and more of a problem, which is why we're eating such junk. You go shopping at the store, which I did. I bought, I got as healthy as I could. I've got fresh vegetables, fresh meat, but there's a lot of times when I can't do that. And I'm eating processed food. And it's not great for us. It's just how it is. But listen, the world has, what are we up to? 7 billion people? Or we're damn close, if not even over. It's way too many. I think probably 3 billion is probably what this world should, the planet is about what it can sustain, 3 billion people comfortably, and we're more than double that. So it's a problem. That's weird, Matthew. You are welcome. Where's Matt? Oh, okay. You guys talking to each other. Yeah, David. No, I know the stuff comes from birds, but I don't think this one did. From what I can tell, anyway. So, is there any hockey talk to talk about out there? Like I said, I haven't really heard that much. I try to follow or find out, but nothing really much happening in the hockey world, that's for sure. Everybody's playing their video games and playing the Habs game. Like today was supposed to be Anaheim, and there's all kinds of, on Twitter, there's all kinds of different scores and results for the game. Everybody's playing it on. I haven't played those games in forever, so I don't know how they do it, but I know it's there's a way to do it. I know it's just easy, and I'm sounding really old and boomerish, and I get that. But I'm not into video games. I never really was. Like I mildly was, and then not really. So forgive me for that. The swine flu killed more people in 2008, I think, or 13, whatever, than this damn virus is still a common flu. Yes, Rodney. But remember, we're right at the beginning here. And if you want to go by what's happening in North America, it's not the right way to go, because you got to look at what's happening in Europe and the numbers there. If you don't trust China, that's fine. You have to look at Italy. Italy is really hit bad. So I don't know. I wouldn't take it lightly. And I did. I was one that got a swine flu shot. I did. I got vaccinated for the swine flu. I remember that. I don't remember what year, but 2008 sounds about right. Something like that. But yeah, listen, you can't, it's like you take your risk. If you ignore it and you figure, okay, this is nothing because look at the numbers here. I'm telling you right now, this is my opinion. What day are we today? We're Sunday. By next Sunday, in my opinion, we're going to be the number of new cases is going to be skyrocketing. In that is going to be trending up, and I don't mean like on a trending. Let me get in. I don't mean trending up. That's trending up. I mean trending up. And this is something that I saw on Twitter also today. Brian Wild, who's a sports writer, so he was talking about it, and he said something that made a lot of sense to me. And I think it's stats that he knows. It's not that he came up with this. You want to see the new cases every day be under 20%, as low as possible, but under 20%. When you're at 20%, you're not doing well. It's too high number of new cases every day. Yesterday, or is it today, just in Ontario, they had 100 cases to start the day and then announced 40 new cases to make it 140. I believe that's the number, and that's 40%. That's not good. That means you're trending like straight up. Yes, the numbers are still low, but if you get 40% increase every single day, so that's 40%, add that in, then 40% of the new number, and you know what I mean? It gets a lot higher really quick. And we're not there yet, but give it a week, because I think it's about 3 days ago, they were saying that we are about 10 days behind Italy. If we're 10 days behind Italy, we've got about a week to go, and not good. It's not good. You're going to see. And I don't mean to scare anybody, but, that's why you got to take the precautions. You got to, if anything, inform yourself. And don't, like for you young people, inform yourself when you're watching videos about it. Don't laugh it off. Listen to what they're saying. It's not boomers going crazy. It's not what it is. I know a lot of young people are saying they're calling it the boomer remover. It's insulting, and it's wrong. When you think about it, maybe the older boomers, but I'm a young boomer. Like I'm on the right a year. I made it in by a year, and I got a lot of time to go. I don't want to be removed. Okay, let's see now. Gislain's in the room. Hey, Gislain. Thanks. How's it going, buddy? You're not in video games, fantasies neither. You're not into video games. Yeah, no, I'm not. The fantasy pools I like, but not the video games. Yeah, well, I mean, there was a point where we were trending in that direction, Gislain, but I don't know. Hopefully, we will be trending that way again. An unnamed Yankees minor leaguer is the first baseball player to test positive. Well, you see, there you go. And once one has it, the chances are, by the way, MJ, thanks for coming in for us. Sorry. The chances are that other people are going to have it, right? So, it's the reason why. So if one NHLer tests positive, you got to wait from that day. You got to wait at least 14 days till he's okay to play, and to make sure that nobody else that he's been around had contracted it. So, it's a fine line. It's not easy to decide what to do, but I think by them, I guess postponing is also suspending, postponing. I think it was prudent, which means it was the right thing to do. Um, you can give to anybody you want. It's the same thing as the flu. It's not, though. It's not. It might be. Listen, I'm not going to say you're wrong because we don't know. But the point is, we don't know yet. It's not looking that way from Europe, and we don't know yet. So instead of passing judgment, we're really right at the beginning of this. If in 2 weeks from now, we're in the same condition we are today, and it hasn't gotten worse, I think you have the right to say, it's the same as the flu. But I don't think we're going to be like that. I think you're legitimately going to say, oh, whoa, I guess you were right because look how bad it is. I think that's how it's going to be. Ryan, our cases have almost tripled in 3 days where I live, and most of my state is still sending kids to school. See, Ryan, you're in Nashville, are you not? And you see, tripled in the last 3 days. And they're the same as us here. They're at the beginning of it in the States. And it's been handled absolutely horribly by the pumpkin head in charge over there. If there's any Republicans or conservatives in the room, I don't really apologize for that statement, but you'll have to understand. And if you don't, that's why you can unsubscribe, because I'm never going to bend on that one. That pumpkin-headed mother effing, I can call him a lot worse. I could be here for 5 minutes calling him names. He handled it about as bad as you can. So I'm sorry, but everybody in the States that are watching me right now, take all the damn precautions you can. Take all of them. And listen, in Canada here, we're telling anybody that's come into Canada, anybody, you're coming in, take 2 weeks of self-isolation before you start going out and about. So like if you're coming here on vacation, which is dumb now to do, and for 2 weeks, your 2 weeks is going to be in self-isolation or go back home. And that's how serious it is. So will it turn out to be something that lives up to the seriousness of the warnings and all that? I don't know. We're going to find out. There's a third NBA player testing positive. I did not, Wolverine. I did not. But it does not surprise me. There's going to be more. That's why they shut down. That's why the NBA shut down right away. Because they know it's like cockroaches. You ever see a place that has cockroaches? If you see one cockroach, there's probably 100 more at minimum for every one you see. It's the same thing. So if one guy had the flu, you knew there were going to be more. I'm not saying there's going to be 100 more, but you knew there's going to be more, and there could be 100 more because he's a basketball player. He's out and about and around town and doing all kinds of things. He didn't know he was sick. So, you know what I'm saying? How many people died from the common flu in the United States last year? I believe it's something like 34,000 last year. So no, in the States, it has not matched that, but the season for this is only just begun. So the season for the common flu is almost over. So you can look at those numbers, whatever they are, and then follow till this is finished. When this is done, and you can say, okay, we've gotten through that, then look back and see how many people have died. There's a little video out on Twitter, and I don't know, it might be out on YouTube, of someone put out, they had the newspaper from February 9th in Wuhan. So they show you Wuhan's the newspaper, and they open to the obituaries, and there's 2 pages of obituaries. Then they bring the next newspaper, and it's March 13th, and they open it to the obituaries, and a second page, and a third page, and a fourth page, and a fifth page, and a sixth page. And I think he did 10 pages, and by the time he's at 5 or 6, I'm going, oh my God. Like, when is the whole newspaper just obituaries? And almost. And all the pictures of the people, yes, they were old people. It's worse for old people. So anybody out there, you got a grandmother, an older parent, whatever, you go out and you catch it and you bring it home and you put their life in danger. And that's just the truth to it. It's not a hoax. So I don't know. It's not a hoax. It might be a little overreacted to, but that's a good thing when it's something deadly. Okay, wait a second now. I go everywhere. I'm not afraid of a flu. That is what this is. So I go out, I see people, I talk to them. They're not worried. Too much propaganda. Okay. You know, my cousin was living here and she moved back to the States. Kind of suddenly, I must say, but we won't talk about that. When this started to happen, she was back there probably, we're going to say around my birthday in February. She'd been back there probably about 2 months. We talked about it. I was already worried. I'll tell you the truth. Back in December, the first time I saw anything about this, it triggered in my brain. This is going to be serious. And it was just a tiny little story about this viral outbreak. And I right away knew something was up, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so we get back to my cousin. We talked about it. And she's in Arizona, in Phoenix. And she was like, because I was thinking of starting to self-isolate and, I wasn't sure if I was sick. I was worried about it. I was kind of scaring myself, I guess. I've gotten over that. And she was just saying exactly that. It's just the flu. It's nothing worse. Don't worry about it. Go and do your stuff. Now, you take it, it's at least a week later, probably 2 weeks after that conversation, and even the president, who went from this is a hoax to yesterday calling a national emergency. So, if you want to do that, Rodney, I can only say you put everybody in your family and around you in danger every time you go out somewhere where it is not necessary. Now, to say that when it is necessary, you're not putting them in danger, no, you are. But when you need to go out, you need to go out. There's times when you got to take the risk. The point is to cut down on the risks. Cut down on the chances to catch it or to give it to somebody. And when you do that, it doesn't spread nearly as fast, and you don't get that. They're saying flattening the curve, because the curve, it goes like that and then it comes back, right? They want to flatten it by coming in much, and that's what we're trying to do here. So it's okay, Rodney. Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do. There's no ban to go out. You're allowed to go out. They're asking you voluntarily to stay in. I'm not going to tell you. But if you're 42, you're still young. You're not going to get it probably very bad. So, but is that fair to the other people that are around you? That you just, whatever, Peanut, not right now, I'm busy. You're just going to go out and do what you want, and it doesn't matter about their health, the people around you. That's kind of what you're saying. That's how I see it. Honestly, that's how I see it. But like I said, we're at a point still where we can do what we want. If that's the case, you want to do that, that's what you're going to do. Nolan's in. Yeah, Renan, when you said thousands more, it's true. Cockroaches. I only said 100 more, but it's probably thousands. Peanut, not now, buddy. I'm on camera. I don't need someone scratching at my legs. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, hey, Nolan. Sorry. Hey, buddy. Wolverine. Haven't heard anything about Radulov tested positive or negative yet. No, but they tested him, and I think it takes 2-3 days. So we'll hear about it. I would think anytime. I haven't seen anything yet either. It's not about the flu here. You're right. We're here to talk hockey, but unfortunately, this subject is sort of taking up everything. But hey, I am happy to talk hockey. Don't get me wrong. You guys got to kind of lead me on where you want me to go. Hey, Joe, why did you delete? First of all, Joe, I didn't know you're in. Hey, Joe, I missed you. Sorry. What did Bada Bing do? He's usually good. Bada Bing doesn't. I don't have a problem usually with Bada Bing. Bada Bing. I'm sorry, Joe deleted your message. I don't know why. I trust that Joe did it for a good reason. I trust Joe. I didn't see that Joe's here. Joe, say something. Oh, it's because I'm scrolled up. Maybe. There you are. I see you down there now. Hey, buddy. Oh, okay. What did listen, Bada Bing's okay. I don't know what he said because I didn't see it. But I don't have a problem with him. He's never ever given me a problem. And he always mentions St. Viator Bagel. So he usually gets a break for that. So I don't know what he did. So once again, I had to scroll down. I might have missed some people. Just to repost or super chat, whatever you like. Oh, he said something about Rodney? Okay, yeah, then that's right. We don't do that. Listen, even if we don't agree with Rodney, which I didn't, but I didn't bash the guy. I didn't put him down for it. We can't. That's not what we do. It's not going to help. I disagree with what he's doing, but I'm not going to bash him for it. And no, it's not because I don't want to lose a subscriber. It's not that. It's that this is a channel. It's not, anyways, for, like he says, it's not for the virus anyway. We're here for hockey. And listen, I'm sure, I've got, 1,020 subscribers. I'm sure I don't agree on philosophically on everything with everybody out there who subscribe to my channel. I would think that would be rather impossible to do. So not a problem. No, if he said something bad about somebody else, Joe did the right thing. And like I said, I trust Joe. I didn't think he did wrong. I just didn't know what it was. That's why Joe is a mod, because Joe makes good decisions. Rodney, you're 100% right. Although, listen, that's what everyone's talking about. So, like I said, we can talk hockey. I don't mind talking about whatever questions you want. You want to talk about anything? Give me another subject other than hockey and the flu. I'm here to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. The latest I can go is I can go another half hour, the longest, because then I got to walk the dog. But hey, listen, give me some other subjects. That's, at this point, even if I had stuff prepared, at this point, I would be relying on you guys for the content of what we're talking about. So I'm relying on you guys, and we're going to talk about what's here. And then if I go off on a tangent on something, that's what will happen. That's all. Well, listen, and I defended you there, Rodney. So I hope you do appreciate that, because, like I said, I didn't agree with what you said, but you had every right to say it because you said it in a way that wasn't bullying or nasty to anybody else. So if somebody's going to be nasty to you, then it gets timed out like that. It was the right thing to do. So I hope you do appreciate that about the channel, because that's what we're like here. Nolan, you can go off topic if that's what you were saying, or that was very well. The virus is kind of off topic since I'm a Habs channel. Glenn Shaver. All right, buddy. With the draft being held in Montreal and presuming it happens properly and on time, there are rumors that Bergevin is going to try to make an impact. What moves do I think he will try to swing? That's a good question. Well, I would think this. Right now, Montreal's sitting at 8th for the draft, and that, I guess, for the lottery, right? So once the lottery is done and we know what position Montreal's in, I would think he will try to move up into a position to get a certain player. I would think they're going to look at a guy like Jamie Drysdale. So they're going to try to figure out where he's going to get taken and then try to – that's what I would think. Then he is definitely going to try to get – I don't know if he can do it at the draft, but you might find a way where you're moving picks around to either move up or down, and it doesn't have to be the first round pick. Other draft picks can be moved around and you can get players. But he's definitely going to try to find a defenseman, a left side defenseman that they need. And he might sow the seeds for that for the offseason at the draft, because they meet and they talk a lot. But I would think at the draft he would try to move up to get a certain player. I don't think in this draft, I don't see him making a trade to move down. That wouldn't make any sense. So that's what I think would be the big move. Now, the swing for the fences type thing that was talked about, I think that's in the off season. So I think in the off season after the free agency, I think that's where he's going to try to make those big moves. Find a backup goalie, get that defenseman that he needs, and any other small moves that he's going to need, because he might still need to make a move or two. But I think he's going to try to find that defenseman, but not at the draft. I don't think so. I don't see what he can do there that gets him that defenseman, because if any kind of move I see, it's just to move up. I'm going to scroll up a little again. I want to see what went on here. Oh, I missed a lot. Okay. David, what position will Habs draft when there is a draft, a remote Skype draft? How old is my mod? Joe is fine. Don't worry about my mod. Joe is well picked, and Joe's a good guy. Joe, trustworthy. Don't worry about it. And anything you can say is not going to make me change Joe as a mod. It's not happening. What position? I think, like I said, first of all, at a draft, smartest thing you can do is pick the best player available. So that's what you got to do. You got to get in there and pick the best player available. Picking necessarily by position doesn't usually work. They've done this now probably a couple years in a row where they kind of went, I don't know if it was 2 years ago, but last draft they definitely went for a certain position in general. I don't think they should do that this draft. They need to pick the best player available when they step up to the podium. That's my opinion. I think, though, in the first round, if you have the right position, draft position, you maybe can target that guy, that position you're looking for, because when you're in the top 5, you're pretty much picking one of the best players in the draft. So you can say that he was the best player available, right? In general. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know exactly, but I think they should just go with the best player available and worry about what position they play. Other than goalie, I mean, you don't want to draft a goalie too high or whatever, you know. How old is Joe? Joe, you're what? It's Joe, I think, is like, I want to say 20. Joe is 20 going on 40. Joe's a good guy. So I'm getting back to Epiphany. But listen, Epiphany, is that your picture? No, it's not. Epiphany is a guy or a girl? I can't tell. Epiphany sounds like Tiffany with a P. We might not even have a draft this season here in Montreal. Might just have it down on the down low. Just something we hear off the internet. Well, it's here in Montreal, so I was kind of now starting to plan that I'm going to go probably. And then this happens, right? So, yeah, I would think depending on what's going on, but I can't see by June. First of all, it depends when they do the draft. If they're going to have playoffs delayed and all that, and they finish only at the end of June or July, then everything's pushed back a little bit. It might be long enough that they can have the draft live at the Forum. So we don't know. But if not, it'll be by phone like they used to do in the old days. Joey's in the room. Today I went shopping and almost everything was gone. People are crazy. I went yesterday. That wasn't there when I was there, then was suddenly there. So I don't know if they were like, they saw me coming in and said, hey, don't refill the shelves till this guy leaves. I don't know, because it seems what happened. But I went yesterday and it was pretty good. I pretty much I can't say that I was disappointed in what I got. I didn't get like everything exactly how I wanted, but I got what I needed. Like happily what I needed. But today could be a totally different story, picking best player available. And listen, sometimes when you go off the charts, it's because you believe that guy is the best player available. And sometimes they're right. So, it is what it is. But that's usually the theory, you should draft by his best player available. Bada Bing shouldn't be blocked. He was on timeout. He wasn't blocked. I told him, no. Hey, listen, Bada Bing's okay. Just don't attack anybody. But Bada Bing and I have no problem. No problem at all. So, but if you attack somebody else and whatever, getting a timeout, it's fair. But it was just a timeout. And I see that you're back down there, so everything's good. Nolan, he's in the worst spot here in BC. There are 90 to 100 cases, 85 probably in Vancouver. Anyway, I'm in the southern Gulf Island. We are super close to Washington State, which has about 620 cases. Yeah, listen, Nolan, even that's why even at your young age, because Nolan's a young guy, it's important that you follow. You're very unlikely to get very sick from it. That's the truth. Unless you have bad asthma, I mean something like that, even at your age, right? But you could give it to your parents, or you don't want to do that. So it's important to stay at home. Don't go anywhere you don't need to go. And if we do that for a little bit of time, we'd probably be able to get over it. Hey, I noticed I got 14 thumbs up. I just need one more to hit 15. If anybody's out there hasn't given a thumbs up and is enjoying the stream, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to hit 15. It helps the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. So it's really good. Hey, it just jumped to 17. All right. Thank you, guys. Super appreciate that. That's really nice of you. I really appreciate that. It does. It helps YouTube. It just lets them know people in here are enjoying the video. So they suggest it to more people. That's just what happens. So it always helps. Even though we're getting close to the time where I got to go because I got to walk the dog soon. But yeah, I'm glad I'm doing these kind of impromptu like I did today because it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with these. And I'll be doing this, I would say most days. There might be a day when I don't do a live stream, but I would think most days because I'm going to be here. I've got an hour and a half for sure every day that I can give to you guys on a live stream like this. So why not, right? I have a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys do too. I don't know, but it seems like I just talk like I'm babbling away, and it's something to get used to because there's nobody here but my animals, which I do talk to my animals. I have to admit I do. So it's weird, I'm talking to this thing here in front of me. It's something to get used to. I'm getting used to it. I hope it doesn't. I hope you guys are entertained by it anyway. I guess by 17 thumbs up, I guess 17 people are okay with it. Although one of them is mine, I usually start when I usually give myself a thumbs up. What can you do? I gotta have a little bit of vanity. I mean, you gotta have a little bit. Okay, let's get back to you guys. Oh yeah, I had scrolled. That's fine. Apparently, if nothing slows down by May, there will be up to 60,000 cases in Washington state alone, and I'm only like a few kilometers from the state. Scary. Well, Bada Bing, your love of I'm going to answer that, Nolan, but Bada Bing, your love of bagels and mentioning Saint Viator and remembering that fact is definitely what keeps you. No, I like you. I like your comments. We don't always agree. I don't always agree with Bada Bing, but so remember that even if you disagree with somebody, you can make a comment to them, just not nasty. I don't like that here. I won't do it unless somebody's being nasty directly to me or directly to somebody else. I'm not going to be nasty to them. That's how it works in this room. So I hope you don't mind that you got timed out by Joe, but Joe was doing his job as a mod. Okay, so back to Nolan. Nolan, the estimates, and these are apparently conservative estimates, and I don't know how conservative, but hang on one sec. And these are from probably Thursday. They're estimating somewhere between 70 and 150 million Americans will contract this disease. They figure somewhere around 40, I think, to 60 million Americans will need to be hospitalized. And in the end, probably around 480,000 And I say probably up to 1 million Americans could die. Now, they say 480,000 conservatively, but usually when they do numbers like that, they're usually low. And yeah. So listen, it's scary, but you're a young guy. If you take the right precautions, you should be fine. And so should your parents. Everybody just needs to minimize the risks as much as possible. Right now, without a cure for it or a vaccine, there's no way to maximize the minimalizing of the risks. In other words, there's no way to get rid of it because we don't have anything yet. But we can take steps to minimize it. So let's get back to some hockey. Bergevin should not make a big move at the draft just to make a big move because it's in Montreal. Only make a big move if it makes sense. I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll make a big move just to make a big move. I think he might make a move to get higher up. So you might see at the draft, whatever team is supposed to be picking third, fourth, fifth, whatever it is, and they go. It takes a while, and then they announce that we have a trade to announce, and Montreal trades something and moves up. Probably their pick and get the other pick, but then some piece for the other team. So yeah, it seems like that's what I would think is going to happen, but I don't think he's going to do anything crazy or stupid at the draft just to be show off. He has talked the other way, saying that he won't do that. He's basically said he won't do that, and I don't think he will here. I don't think it's necessary. They're definitely, they're going to get, I think it's like in somewhere in the 90% that they're going to get a top 10 pick after the lottery. They can legitimately move up possibly as much as to fifth just by the three teams in front of them winning the lottery and getting 1, 2, 3. Then the other teams that are 1, 2, 3 move back. No, they could get a lottery pick and get 1, 2, or 3. There's a lot of scenarios, right? So I don't know. We'll see. The higher up they can get, the better. It's as simple as that. And we always say that, and even last year. But last year, so we had 15th pick, not a great pick. And in general, right, we got Cole Caulfield, and I love that. But in general, you wouldn't think that's a great pick to have and be excited about. But this year, when you break into the top 10 on a really good draft year, it's something to be excited about and to work at to improve. So I could see them this year trading up. Okay, I missed a bit of what you guys have been saying. Okay, I can't. I'm scrolling down. If I miss something and you really want it read, sorry, you're gonna have to repost it or do the super chat. And it's okay. I know I keep saying it because I mostly have to get used to saying it. I don't expect when I have 13, 14 people in the room that I'm going to get a lot of super chats. I really don't expect any. But I also have to get used to saying it and the thumbs up thing and everything. So yeah, also, if anybody is new in the room and you're liking what you see, if you can give a thumbs up, let's try to get it to 20. We're at 17. See if I can get it to 20. That would probably be the first time I've had a chat give me 20 thumbs up. So that would be really cool. I kind of like that. If anybody else here is new and has not subscribed yet, I would super appreciate it if you subscribe so we can get this channel up to the next level. 1,100. Might as well go for 100 at a time. Now, let me see what you guys are saying. As a Red Wings fan, David hopes that they get Lafreniere, but as a Canadiens fan, you hope you get Lafreniere here. In other words, because I know David likes about 6 or 7 teams. You'd like one of the teams you cheer for to get Lafreniere. I'm going to take it that way, okay? David, don't you want Habs to get him? Yeah, well, he likes a bunch of teams, so, and that's fine. So I think that's what he means, is that he'd like Lafreniere to go to one of the teams he likes, unless Detroit possibly could be the team he likes the best. Caulfield has the decision to sign with us or not. It's all up to him. We gave him it's not that it's a decision to sign. Yeah, but he has to you got to negotiate. There's got to be a deal. And they'll sign him. You'll see. He'll be in Laval next year. That's my, if you want a hot take, I know John's not here, but if you want a hot take, Cole Caulfield will be in Laval next year. 6:15, and my dog is bugging me. I'm gonna go in the next 3-4 minutes, okay? Because like I said, I gotta walk the dog, and she's jumping on me when she does that. I'm sitting at the desk. It's because she's got to go out. I have pee pads for her, and she knows how to use them, and she will. But I'd still rather walk her. Montreal's going to trade the first round pick, and they're going to trade Gallagher. Nope, don't agree with it. Who said that? Oh my God. You know what, guys? I'll tell you something. What am I doing tonight? If I'm having trouble still with my videos, I'll do another live stream tonight. Maybe again at 9:00. I know I hate to go this, but I got to take her out. There's nothing I can do. I'd have to go and come back. And you guys now are deciding to just ask a lot of questions that I have no control over. No way we're trading Galley. Nolan, I agree with you. We're not trading Galley. I don't know who said that, but whoever said that, I totally don't agree. Come on, Bria. Not a sec. My dog wants up. You haven't seen Ray for a while? My scruffy dog in the winter. Hey, baby. She's a good girl. Hey, look at the camera. They want to see you. There's my Ray. There's my Ray. That's the doggy here barking, but she needs to go out. She's my little baby. Going to be 3 in June. Time passes that I've had her that long. I've had her, oh, geez, today, wow, that's amazing. Today is exactly 2 years that I've had her. I got her March 15th, 2 long years ago, short years ago. She's a really good dog. I love my dog. I love my dog. Joe, you passed the time by staring at yourself in the mirror for many, many hours. Yeah, listen, you know what? It's like the off season. There's stuff to do in the off season. So think about it as kind of split. Hopefully it'll be split. And we're having some off season now, and they'll get back to hockey, and then we'll have another short off season, and then they get back to hockey again. I think the next season might start a little bit late and then be like kind of condensed in a little bit, like when they have the Olympics. And unless they're having the Olympics this year, no, but we're not in it anyway. Not yet. We're not back in it. Bada bing. Later, Rick, going for a dozen bagels, the same Viator, extra cream cheese. I love my bagels with cream cheese. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. Didn't know, so I wasn't sure, Bada bing, if you're in Montreal. And once again, listen, just let's keep it civil with everybody. And yeah, Bada bing shouldn't have to be timed out. He's been around a long time. I like the guy. He likes my family's bagels, although they're not my family anymore. My family's bagels anymore, but St. Viator was my family. My great grandfather started that, and yeah. And Bada bing remembered that, and he goes there and he gets their bagels. I think he lives here. Oh, you're in the city? Okay, awesome. I don't know. I thought you lived here, but awesome, buddy. Thanks for the support and remembering the bagels. I really appreciate that. And liking my dog, my girl, Ray. Her name is Ray for Raven, but I just call her Ray for short. And she's all shy. She's a really good dog. She loves to be kissed and hugged and cuddled. She just do that all day long if you want. Okay, so I'm going to take off because I got to take her for a walk. I want to thank you all for being here today at this time. Kind of quick. I only had a half hour. I had enough for a half hour before I came on. I really do appreciate it. Let's kind of meet every day and have an hour, 2 hour, whatever it turns out, whatever I'm able to do, talk and keep each other from going crazy while we hopefully everybody kind of stays away from everybody else and we get through this little mess that's going on here. So I want to just thank everybody once again, really, for coming in. Stay safe. Keep washing your hands, doing the stuff you got to do. And, yeah, let's all stay safe and healthy. So thanks, everybody, and peace out, buddies. See you. Maybe I'll see you later. If I do come on later, it'll be impromptu. I'll just put one up, and I might. We'll see. So keep an eye out for it. Have a good one, guys.